Hi, it's Alaska Granny. As preppers, we want to keep adding to our stockpile, and it's nice to have a variety of foods so that you can have different flavors and mix it up so you don't have food fatigue. You don't have to eat the same old thing day in and day out. But if you aren't sure about something, just buy one. And then maybe you have bought one and you've set it aside and you're like, I'm not sure if I even like it. Should I keep it in my prepper pantry? And maybe you keep pushing it aside because there's other things you know you like. During this ongoing pandemic, there have been times when we can't find the foods that we actually really want, but we know it's important to keep adding to our food stockpile. And so sometimes I will buy things that I'm not familiar with because, say, I want to buy a can of soup and the type I like isn't there. So I'll pick up something that sounds like it might be good. But then when I get home, I already have a few of the other soups that I actually do like. And so maybe I don't hurry up and try the one I'm not so sure about. Sometimes we need to go ahead and try that food so that we know, is this food worth the space in my pantry? Is it going to be good? Should I go back and get more? Or do I need to keep looking for something that my family will enjoy? So if we find something we like, we can go back and get more. But if we don't like it, then we're not stuck with a whole bunch of something we don't like. Different varieties of soups were something that I bought during the pandemic because I couldn't find soups that I like and that I wanted. And so I figured it was better to get something rather than have nothing. But they sort of languished for a little while, so I finally decided it's time to get them out and see if they really did deserve a place in my pantry and should I keep looking for it or not. The first one was a Campbell's Chunky Soup, Chicken Tortilla. Doesn't it sound like it would be delicious? It says it has white meat. It should have some tortilla strips. It should be delicious. So I finally opened it up, heated it up. It doesn't look anything like the picture on the label. It's very soupy, brothy, and I don't see anything that looks like a tortilla. I see a lot of rice, and I actually am having a hard time finding anything that looks like white meat chicken. Well, and guess what? The flavor is not any good at all. This soup to me is terrible. And I don't even want to try to figure out what I could mix with it to spice it up and make it taste better. And so I'm glad that I finally tried it, get it out of my pantry, and I'm certainly glad I didn't buy more. So the Campbell's Chunky Chicken Tortilla Soup isn't one that I would recommend or ever want to buy again. The next one I tried was a Campbell's Chunky Chili Mac, which it's easy to make chili mac, but I thought, okay, maybe this will be a nice variety to have as a soup. So I opened it up, I warmed it up, and I would rather be eating a can of chili. This just doesn't even have a very good flavor. You could make a box of macaroni and cheese and top it with a can of chili and you'd have way more food and more flavor than this stuff. So this isn't something that I would ever buy again either. The next soup that I tried was the minestrone with sausage. Yes, look at that. It has lots of little sausage coins floating around in it. And I like minestrone soup. However, the combination of minestrone with sausage is just not very flavorful. Out of these three soups, this one is probably the best, but they still are something that I don't want to eat ever again. And so I'm certainly glad I didn't buy more of these. There are so many soups that are good that we do enjoy, but sometimes we can't get them. And that's what happened to me. I had to find something so that I could continue to fill my pantry. I am glad that I tried these so that I know it's not something that I like, and no one in my family would probably be willing to eat it. And so there's no sense in stocking up on this soup to keep in my prepper pantry. It would be easier for me to put together something that I know we would like, and I'd rather have extras of those foods in my pantry than the variety of these foods that nobody likes. One problem that I did run into with some fruit that I bought at the Dollar Tree. Nature's Garden Tropical Fruit Trail Mix. These are absolutely delicious. They come in a nice sturdy pouch, and then inside there's 4 little pouches. They come in 4 smaller size wrapped packages, which are a nice serving size. It's a very sturdy package, and these are fantastic to have in your food storage. However, they haven't been available at the Dollar Tree for a while, so I've sort of been holding them back because they're so good and trying not to use them up. The best by use by sell by date of this Nature's Garden Tropical Fruit Trail Mix packages They've all gone out of date in October of 2021, and that's a few months ago. So I thought it's time to pull them forward and try them out and make sure that they're still lasting. Well, they're beginning to taste a little bit stale. I think it's the coconut in them is beginning to taste off a little bit. These are still very good, but I need to rotate these out of my pantry now before they become degraded so that they're no longer good to eat. Almost no foods last forever, and so that's something that we need to be aware of when we're building our prepper pantry, that you're buying foods that you're willing to eat and you're rotating them within a reasonable amount of time. Many foods will last longer, but this is one of them that is not very successful, lasting past the date. When I was able to find them though, they did have a nice long shelf life of a year or two, but they're now at the end of their life and I need to make sure that I use them up and find something to replace them with since I can't find these anymore. And that's one of the challenges of food storage, is making sure that you continue to try new things so that you find out what do you like, what do you not like, what can you still get, and what can you add so that you can continue to use, rotate, and replace your foods. And sometimes the challenge is finding new foods that your family will be willing to eat and that you enjoy eating. So leave us a comment on what foods you're finding that you like to eat and you never want to buy again, and what foods that you're finding that you need to rotate and find a new replacement because those are no longer available, and maybe some ideas of how we can continue to add variety into our prepper pantry and our long-term food storage. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.